welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 different things that I found interesting about Season 1, Episode 2 of Gilmore Girls, which is the episode called The Lorelais' First Day at Chilton. The very first thing that I find interesting about this episode is that Lorelai dresses like a Dukes of Hazzard woman, and this is referenced actually in the episode. So she is dressed in short shorts and a pink shirt to take Rory to Chilton, which is an uppity private school. And the reason she dresses like this is because she sent all of her very nice clothes to the dry cleaners, and she wakes up late, so she doesn't have time to run to the dry cleaners before she takes Rory to the private school. What I don't understand about that is that she doesn't go home to change into normal clothes before going around to Stars Hollow. So she shows up at Luke's diner in the outfit, and Miss Patty sees her walking, and so they all make comments about her Dukes of Hazzard look that she's got going on because it's not a normal look for her, and because they knew that it was Rory's first day of school. So what's interesting about Lorelai being referenced to a Dukes of Hazzard character is that there's an actual scene in Dukes of Hazzard that is shot on Midwest Street, which is on the Warner Brothers lot where Stars Hollow is shot at. So a scene in Dukes of Hazzard was shot in basically Stars Hollow and referenced in Season 1, Episode 2. So that's a fun fact for you. Fun fact number 2 about this episode of Gilmore Girls is that we all get introduced to Jackson. Jackson is a produce seller at the Independence Inn. He sells fruits and vegetables to Suki and Lorelai. A fun fact about Jackson is that in real life, his name is Jackson Douglas, and he is married in real life to Alex Bornstein, or actually he was married to her. Alex Bornstein is the harp player that we see throughout Season 1 in many episodes, who was originally cast as Suki, but was not able to play her due to a previous contract. So I just find it funny that Jackson, who becomes a main character throughout the seasons, is married to, in real life, the person who was supposed to be Suki. And in the show, Jackson ends up with Suki, who is Melissa McCarthy. So I just think that whole scenario is interesting. Fun fact number 3 about this episode is that we also get introduced to Paris Gellar. And I love this character so much. I love her humor, and I love the fact that she's blunt. Even though she is not the most friendly in Season 1, she becomes a great friend to Rory throughout the seasons, and you really come to love Paris. But a fun fact about Paris is that the actress who plays Paris, Liza Wheel, actually auditioned for the role of Rory. And when she went in for the audition, Amy Sherman Palladino loved Liza so much, she created the role of Paris specifically for her. And thank goodness she did, because I could not imagine Gilmore Girls without Paris Gellar. I was going to say Pellis Gellar. That doesn't even make sense. Paris Gellar. Fun fact number 4 about this episode of Gilmore Girls is that we also get introduced to Kirk, who is a main character throughout the show of Gilmore Girls. But in this episode, he is introduced as Mick. In my previous episode that I made, I mentioned that Gilmore Girls is famous for using characters in one episode, and then in later episodes, they become a different character. So they just reuse people in different character roles. So Kirk in the second episode is actually named Mick, and he's a DSL guy. But later on, he is introduced as Kirk, and we all know him as Kirk. And so I just find that interesting and funny, but I'm glad that they kept Kirk on because I love Kirk's character in later seasons of the show. And the 5th interesting thing about this episode is that we get to know a little bit more about Luke Danes. And the fun fact about Luke, whom I love, he's probably my favorite character in the show. after Lauren Graham or Lorelais Gilmore. But Luke was actually only supposed to play in the pilot episode of Gilmore Girls. But the chemistry between Lorelai and Luke was so strong that Amy Sherman Palladino decided to create a main character role, which we all know now as Luke. So again, thank goodness for Amy Sherman Palladino, for one, writing Gilmore Girls, but for two, recognizing these people's talent and writing roles for them that are absolutely perfect. Like, way to go, you are a rock star. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow along on this fun and exciting Gilmore Girls journey, because where I lead, you will want to follow. Bye! And first few episodes, in the season 1 pilot episode, what I can't talk. Guy who gives produce, not gives, he definitely sells it. Girls is infamous or just famous. I don't know why I said infamous. Ugh!